Hi, I look like a wet mop. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Raccoon Raiders, to the show. Let me just mess up my hair so that it look a little less like a mop and more like a mop top. They say money can't buy you happiness. It can buy you a Ferrari, though. It's good to see you. Let me just widen this shot here. Look, I look short. For once in my life. Guys, I'm so tall. I'm 6'3". I don't know if you knew that about me. 6'3", always been told, how's the weather up there? And all these things, and you're tall. That's my favorite thing about being tall. People go, you're really tall. They they're the first person to let me know that. As if this is a new discovery. It's very funny. That is actually very true. People are like, you're really tall. This is my favorite. After I don't see someone for a long time, they go, did you grow since last time I saw you? This is another question. And I've only grown 1 inch since I was 13. So maybe the last time you saw me, I was 13. Welcome to the show. This is the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. Despite looking like a wet mop, my hair might go full throttle by the end of the hour and look like an afro or a fro. We like to shorten it. But this show is every weekday, Monday through Friday, which are the weekdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we just talk about things that are in the news, things that are in my head. They're things that are of concern, things that are exciting, things that things that we love. Guilty pleasures, as it were. There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. If you like something, you like something, you know? That's a fact check. You could credit Dave Grohl for that. He was like, if you like something, like the heck out of it. You know what I mean? Don't sit there and be like, oh, I feel guilty. The only reason why you feel guilty is because other people are trying to make you feel guilty about the thing you like. Maybe they're jealous because you're expressing pure and genuine love for something, and they're unable to do that, and it threatens them. It makes them feel uncomfortable. You know? I think about this a lot. There's a lot of people who can't express themselves. They can't say, hey, good job. Hey, I really like what you did there. They can't say these kinds of things, and I feel bad for them. I gotta stop feeling mad about it. I gotta stop feeling mad that some people, hey, you know what? I'm really proud of you. Some people can't do it. It's just outside their scope of ability. You know what I mean? It's just... Some people just can't do it. I was reading about the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius. You know what I mean? YouTube, okay? Full disclosure, I don't read. All the information is there already. All the information is available on YouTube. That's what we learned. By the way, if you're... The frame rate of the show. You get to listen to the show on Spotify. That's a way you could support the show, actually. I actually make like a penny if you listen to it on Spotify. So I'm up to like almost $15, guys. That's like 1,500 pennies. So keep on listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I would like you to feel free. But there's just these Stoics, they say you can't really control what's in... Obviously, I mean, this seems pretty obvious. You can't really control what's in other people's heads or what their intentions are. You can only control how you react to it. If you get frustrated because someone is unable to do something, then that's your own fault. You just got to accept, oh, this person don't know how to do it. That's unfortunate. I need to move on. Anyway, guys, you could support this channel monetarily on Patreon. Just go here. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Patreon.com/Aristotle Full Throttle. You can go there and give me $1 a month or $2 a month or $1,000 a month. However much you feel is necessary. I think that, I would really appreciate that. Because the frame rate issue can be solved. It can be solved with money. They say money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a yacht. I think it's BS. Money can't buy you happiness. Money can buy you happiness. No, this is what the Stoics say. The Stoics say the happiness has to come within. You cannot rely on other people or anything else for your happiness. You have to be happy on your own. And there's also the great Stoic Bobby McFerrin said, "Don't worry, be happy." And that was a very valuable lesson. Just don't worry about it. It's true. The great Stoic Bobby McFerrin. Farron. People who used to listen to Bobby McFerrin, he had this song in the 80s called Don't Worry, Be Happy, right? And it was all a cappella. And the music video was weird. It had like Robin Williams in it for some reason. And we were like, Robin Williams, what are you doing in a Bobby McFerrin video? It turns out Bobby McFerrin's like a genius musician. And that song is a pop song. It's like it's not a cheesy pop song. It's a pretty good pop song. It's a very feel-good type of song, you know? But it does not... He's like not flexing really on that tune. It does not showcase the abilities of Bobby McFerrin. Now, you might be just tuning into Aristotle Full Throttle right now and hear me singing the praises of the great Bobby McFerrin. And you might be confused a little bit. That's okay. The show is partially confusing. To me, too. I don't know what's going on. But Bobby McFerrin, I saw him do the Ave Maria just a cappella. He's like, it's crazy. It's a crazy piece of classical music he could do just with his voices that he makes. You know, if I don't touch anything, the show eventually starts. Let me get off on I think it's the internet. The internet just has trouble buffering. Michael Buffer. Anyway, if you like Bobby McFerrin, and I'm sorry. Welcome to the show. Was trending. Cybertron was trending. Do you know Cybertron? Cybertron is the planet that the Transformers come from. Now, I don't know why that's trending. Are the Transformers finally invading? Thank God. They need to put a stop to this humanity stuff. A friend of mine said, she's got long hair, and I said something earlier. I said, maybe you should shave your head. And she said, no, I've got an abnormally large alien shaped skull or whatever. And I said, no, you have a normally shaped alien skull. I thought that was pretty funny. Shout out to Hannah Bam. Very funny lady. You should listen to this on Spotify. If you guys have any questions for me, I'm happy to field them. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going on my little diatribe. Yesterday, we watched the trailer for, which I'm excited to see in the theaters. Oh, guys, by the way, I'm excited. Tonight, I got free tickets to a movie. I got an email last night. I thought, what is this? What is this email? And it said, you want some free tickets? I said, wait, hold on a second. I'm skeptical. And it said, nah. We got. Hey, you want some tickets? I explored. I researched. I looked into it. I did my due diligence. And now I have 2 tickets to see the new Nicolas Cage movie where Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. 7:30 p.m. the AMC Burbank. I'm going to go see it. I got advanced screening tickets for free. So I'm going to talk to you about that tomorrow. I'm going to tell you all about this movie. Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage in this movie. It's a very Being John Malkovich type of movie. If you've never seen Being John Malkovich, it's great. It's a great movie about great American actor John Malkovich. And the ability to be him for about 15 minutes. And if you go into a door in this office building on the 6th and a half floor, you go inside John Malkovich's head for 15 minutes, and then you get spit out on the side of the New Jersey Turnpike. The New Jersey Turnpike! New Jersey smells. New Jersey smells. It smells like beef. What else is trending? Better Call Saul. Oh, we're back with Better Call Saul. I got to catch up with Better Call Saul. I'm like a few episodes into the most recent season, and the new season starts tonight, it looks like. So Better Call Saul is going to be crazy this season. It's the final season for Better Call Saul. Why don't you go watch it? It's pretty good. I want to talk about Breaking Bad and the legacy of Breaking Bad today. You know, that show was incredible. I don't know if you've seen Breaking Bad. I'm not going to really spoil it too much, but the show started in 2008, and after the first season, which was only about 7 episodes, I heard people going, "Oh, you watching all this scuttlebutt, you know? You're talking about you see Breaking Bad. There's all this ASMR. You see Breaking Bad. You see Breaking Bad." There was all this kind of people talking about Breaking Bad. Second season, halfway through the second season, I got sick of hearing people asking me if I seen it. So I started illegally downloading the episodes and catching up with Breaking Bad. And I caught up by the end of season 2. And I was all ready for season 3, and I loved this show. It was like a ritual. Every Sunday night at 10 p.m. on AMC, I would watch Breaking Bad, and it was one of these edgy shows where the main character, you know he's going to turn bad at some point. You know he's going to be a bad guy, but we got to follow him and see his reasoning and see why he becomes a bad guy. You know, he's Breaking Bad. And the whole time, you're kind of aware of this, and you're like, no, and we're getting caught up in his life, and we're getting caught up in his ne'er-do-well bad doings and stuff, going, uh-oh, now whose side are we on? It's a really cool show. It's edgy for the time, and now every show is like that. Every show since Breaking Bad has changed. I would say that Breaking Bad was the first time, it was like the moment in time where it changed television. And everybody's like, oh, we're going to make our own edgy show now, and we're going to make our own edgy show. You could argue that Lost a few years before was starting to like really test the waters of what people could handle as far as a television long-form storytelling. But Breaking Bad, that was the show. Changed everything. But now if you go back and watch it, I bet you it's not that. I mean, it's probably still compelling because the character. But you watch that show now, and you're probably like, I've seen a million shows like this. Yeah, you saw a million shows like this because it was the first one to start doing all those shows like that. So I find that fascinating. I say like Spock. Fascinating. I was watching Better Call Saul. I was watching a couple episodes of it. And here's a cool thing about this show that you might not notice, but I noticed. And I always say this. It's annoying to watch Better Call Saul with me because every single shot of the show, I go, there's going to be something colored yellow in the shot. So I look for it every single shot, every single episode. I'm like, oh, there's the yellow thing. There's the yellow thing. He's holding a yellow cup. There's like a yellow sneaker. There's a yellow bag of chips on the table. And it's very deliberate because Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he color codes things as indicators of character change. So Saul starts out yellow, things start to turn blue, and then they start to turn red or whatever throughout the seasons, what they're wearing. So ultimately, I'd like to do a super duper cut of every yellow thing in the show. It would take like hours because there's just so many yellow. It's very specifically done. It's fascinating. Oh boy, I'm gonna eat popcorn for dinner. I can't wait. Can't wait to go see Nicolas Cage's movie. I don't even know what it's called. Let me see what this movie's called. Don't be stealing my QR code. Hold on. Does anybody know what that movie's called? Joe? You know what that movie's... Stop. Take that off your head. Good golly. You look ridiculous, Joe. Let me see. Just say you don't know. It's a perfectly acceptable answer, Joe. Just say you don't know. Talking to Joe, my stage manager. He's over there. Or is he? He's right behind you. My hair looks like George Washington. I should stand on the bow of a ship when I cross the Potomac. Ship. More like a boat. Hold on a second. Money can't buy you happiness, they say. But it can buy you 2 tickets to paradise. That's Eddie Money. Great Eddie Money. He's from Long Island. But guys, I got a new shirt up on my store. Go check out my Teespring store. I'm going to drop that in the chat too. teespring.com/ get this, Aristotle Full Throttle. You could buy a shirt. You could buy any shirt that says Aristotle Full Throttle. You could also buy a shirt, Long Island shirts. I'm going to make a Long Island clothing that only people from Long Island would appreciate. The only people from Long Island would get. It's all inside jokes. Long Island inside jokes. Today is... I'll take that with me. Today's shirt that I made says BECSPK, and it's a picture of Long Island. If you guys know what that is, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Nicolas. Jim Louderback. How do you spell Nicolas Cage? Wow, my emails are going searching all the way back to like 2017. Stop it. I just need last night's email from Lionsgate. I saw another movie like this. I saw John Wick 2 like this. So I had to watch John Wick 1 the night before because I was like, I got tickets to see John Wick 2. What do you call an immovable water meeting an unstoppable waterfowl? A paradox. Thank you. Yeah, I say dad jokes. That's okay. And if you consider that a dad joke, then I consider your dad hilarious. People say dad jokes because they're like, that joke, it requires me to understand life. I need you to hit yourself over the head with a frying pan in order to laugh. That's what I hear. The movie's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's the name of the movie? I can understand. I can relate to that. You guys, I was talking to my friend yesterday, and they have a gift. They have a special gift that I wish I could have. They said they don't think about anything. I said, what do you think about during the day? They said, I don't think about anything. And I said, you have achieved nirvana. That is the most zen thing I've ever heard anybody say. I said, what are you... Nothing? They said, nope. I said, wait a minute. So you don't just constantly think like, oh man, I gotta make a t-shirt. I gotta do a show. I gotta do this. I gotta, I've got the... They just said, nope. So I was very confused by that. I was actually envious. I said, how does that work? Can you show me how? Can you show me where on my head I should hit it with a hammer? Because there are too many thoughts sometimes. Too many thoughts. Should write a song called Too Many Thoughts. There is a song by Primus, very similar titled song called Too Many Puppies. But there can never be too many puppies, let's face it. The song is a lie. I got this coffee here. I gotta finish this coffee, and then I'm gonna eat popcorn. I'm very healthy these days. Very nutritious these days. Very delicious these days. Background. So if you're listening on Spotify, thank you for listening. If you're wearing an Aristotle Full Throttle t-shirt, you look very smart in that. And I mean smart like sharp, I don't know how smart you are. I don't know your IQ. IQ has nothing to do with smarts, though. Intelligence quotients and smarts and emotional intelligence quotients, none of them are related. It's like Red Fox and Jamie Foxx, not related. I would like to say that, emotional intelligence is very important. I was talking earlier about the great Seneca, feel like that's a place in New York State. Is Seneca in New York State? There's a lot of Greek and Roman names in New York State. The great Seneca was a Stoic. You know, you can't control. He's kind of like Ben Affleck. Yeah, you know, people come at you. They come at you with all kinds of different attitudes. They come at you with they're angry in the morning. They have breakfast. They're angry. They're just coming at you with an attitude, and they don't know how to say thank you. They don't know how to say please. They don't know how to do it. They don't nice to you. It's not your problem. You shouldn't have to deal with that. I like Ben Affleck. I like to do an impression of Ben Affleck that nobody likes. I like really esoteric impressions. This is Jason Patrick in the movie The Lost Boys. Thank you. Esoteric. I knew a guy named Tariq. And in Spanish, if you were to say, that's Tariq, you'd say esoteric. Dad jokes. Hopefully this is giving you some kind of enjoyment to listen to. I just want to say that you look very nice today. The way you parted your hair, the way you combed your face, is beautiful. Your makeup and your boots, they go together really well. I'd like to say that the new hair product that you're using is working on your armpits beautifully. You're welcome. Sometimes you just have to hear it. I'm here for it. This is going to be a great podcast. People listen to this podcast constantly. I've got like 25 plays on yesterday's podcast. Look at that. People are loving this. What do you want to hear more of? What do you want to hear less of? Let me know. Let me know on Twitter. Come see me. Come at me, bro. At me on Twitter. Tell me what you need to hear. Tell me what you want to see. Ezra Miller is trending. The Flash star Ezra Miller was arrested early Tuesday in Hawaii for making their second arrest in the state in a month. Wow. This dude is breaking the law. He's breaking the law. If you're in Hawaii, the possibility of getting assaulted by Ezra Miller is low, but never zero. Very true. That's like what I feel like at any given moment in Los Angeles, you could be attacked by Andy Dick. That's Spanish. It's absolutely wild that Ezra Miller is still in major roles in DC and Harry Potter despite regularly assaulting people. But Johnny Depp has been fired from multiple roles because he was abused. Well, it was mutual. Whatever was going on with Johnny Depp. I was listening to some Johnny Depp stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to go talk about some Johnny Depp and Amber Heard gossip. You know, seems like they had a really bad relationship and they should just both walk away from the situation. I don't understand why they got to bring the law into it. I understand why Johnny Depp's like, this is defamatory, because a lot of people just started to hate Johnny Depp because of stuff Amber Heard later admitted to lying about. So I understand why Johnny Depp is going to court, but it's just so weird how they're like, honestly, I think the level of narcissism going both ways in that situation is just horrific. Bringing every business, it's worse than Jada and Will. Or is it? I don't think so. I don't really know. I want to be on Jada's podcast. Could we make that happen? Can I be on Jada's podcast? I want to talk to Jada. I feel like I have a lot to say. I can say, hey, I saw Wicked Wisdom, your band. I saw them once. Also, I see. Do you like to go to Erewhon and buy expensive coffee? Me too. Anyway, thanks for having me on the show. Ezra Miller, as soon as they enter the public... Hawaii seems pretty strict. You know, on assault, you can't smack somebody in Hawaii. They're way more strict than LA. They would have arrested Will Smith. Ezra Miller has been arrested again in Hawaii. It's Hawaii. People make fun of me when I pronounce words correctly. It's like when newscasters are like, there was a civil unrest today in Nicaragua. Down in Venezuela, there was strife over oil. But I say Hawaii and I say ukulele because that's how you say those words. And, that's the sound you make with your mouth in order to be understood. I don't just read the letters that we assigned to those sounds and go ukulele. Doesn't make any sense. Ezra Miller is why Hawaiians don't want y'all down there effing the S up. Ezra Miller is so important for white queers who are just terrible human beings that need serious psychiatric intervention. I disagree with that statement. I'm reading a tweet by ASAP Schrader, and I find that offensive. That's an offensive statement. I do not agree with that statement. I think queer people are beautiful people. Ezra Miller is out there tormenting the people of Hawaii, and they show. Well, guys, I feel like this is the part of the show where everybody starts showing up. I lay it out all on the table and I start pouring my heart out, and then everybody's like, "Oh, hey, did I miss anything?" And I'm like, "Go back to the beginning." That's when I was on fire. Only you can prevent forest fires. Also, the fire department. I am very hungry. I went running. Oh, my sink in my bathroom is broken. You might have had this to deal with this. I don't know why. They just said the whole thing just disconnected, and it's just... So I turned the sink on, and then it just pours all over the floor. So I was looking at the back, and there's a pipe that's busted, so they got to replace it. By they, I mean my building manager. So they can't do that until tomorrow. I can't wash my hands in the bathroom sink. I gotta wash them in the toilet. Or as they say, toilet. Alright, I'm gonna play guitar now. Ain't nobody here, let me play guitar. There's no more ask me anythings. Don't ask me nothing, I should say. What I like about this song is it's got an E chord, and then it's got a D chord, and then it's got an A chord, and then it's got an E chord. Thank you. That's what I like about that song. Greatest podcast. I do a lot of prep for the show. I tune my guitars. Here. I put a lot of hair products on my underarms. Thank you. Sarah Hofstad Art says, guitar time is my favorite time. Play Wonderwall. You know, one of my favorite things about that song is the end. No, I like that song a lot. That song, there's a cover by Ryan Adams, who, by the way, canceled. But there's also another, I call it a cover, by Noel Gallagher, who wrote the song and plays guitar on that song. But his brother Liam sings the song on the recording and famously sings the song. But Noel Gallagher does a cover of that song. He reinterprets his own song in a really cool way. In such a cool way that It means something else. You hear it differently. It hits different. That's a song. That's a song. You guys have any requests? Let me know. You want to ask me anything? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about Ezra Miller getting arrested. Ezra Miller dressed up like Toadstool for Comic-Con a couple years ago. It was amazing. I don't know how I feel about Ezra Miller. I don't know how I feel. He's in those movies, the Dumbledore movies, the Dweezil-D movies, the Tweedledee movies, the Dumbledores movies, the Dumbledore movies. What's the movie it's called? The Fantastic Beats and Where to Play Them? I forget what it's called. Anyway, Ezra Miller's in those movies apparently, but nobody cares about those movies. Does anybody care about those movies? I feel like people want to care about those movies so bad, but the movies just aren't compelling. I saw the first one in the theater and I was like, hey, nice costumes. Otherwise, I was like, nothing's really feeling. I don't have any feelings when I watch this movie. It just looks like stuff. Sarah Hofstad Art says, play as a song that you found really to learn or write. Okay. That's a song by the late, great James Hydrox. Played by Oreo Speedwagon. That song is not. Oh, here's one. I can't quite play it still. It's in like 11/8. It's a song by Frank Zappa called Zombie Wolf. Too hard. How about this one? That's how I end it. If you're watching silently in the background, that's cool. I like lurkers. Lurkers are fine. I could see the numbers. I could see that you're looking at me. I know that there's definitely a non-zero number of people watching. Oh, The Simpsons? Let me figure out The Simpsons, ready? Oh, that's almost it, right? Danny Elfman, man. Yeah. Actually, this song, it was difficult to learn the Super Mario Brothers theme because I had to pause it. I had to listen to it and then pause it and then listen to it again. It had started over. Ah! My guitar almost fell out. What is the most annoying guitar chord progression, in my opinion? The most annoying chord progression? I'll play it for you. That was annoying. Thank you. That's off of my first album. And my last album, incidentally. Just trying to get those frustrations out. I really love playing music. It's a catharsis for me. I like to explode on stage. Explosion. Huge explosion up to the sky every time. It's been frustrating to not having an outlet for that. I realized before I had a therapist, I had a band. Which was very, 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 very good at getting that angst out in the music and physically just rocking and sweating. Play us a title track of your incidentally first and last album. The title track of that album, that one's easy. It's called Spaghetti Pie, and it goes like this. Spaghetti pie, spaghetti pie, spaghetti pie. Thank you. It was a hit. It was a hit, incidentally, in Norway. The Norwegians like really cringy vocals. They really do. There's something about the boiled fish that they eat, that they love. Here's a fun fact. Norwegian, Swedish, and Finnish, they're all next to one another. They're all these Scandinavian countries. By the way, I do want to talk about the Northmen. They're Scandinavian countries. They're all of their languages are intelligible to one another, which is interesting. That's like English. It's like American and Canadian. We can understand mostly what they're saying unless they're from Quebec. And we're like, what? Poutine? You're putting me on. You're poutine me on. I would like to say, I don't even have to say that. I could just say the thing. Why do I have to say I would like to say? You ever notice that people are like, I would like to, can I ask you a question? Just ask the question. So it's always weird when someone's like, can I ask you a question? It's weird, right? You feel like, uh-oh. Because it's like, depends on the question, right? It's almost like they're preparing you for something that could be off-putting. By the way, I'm on this new diet where I don't eat dairy. Some might find it off-putting. You have a comment. That's a good comment. I like that comment. I'm trying to think of him. It's interesting living here in Los Angeles. Because currency here is, what do you do? What do you do, and how can you do that for me? And how do I make money off of that thing that you do? How do we make this happen? And that's essentially the nature of this town. And it's fine, because I like to do these kinds of things, and eventually, one day, I imagine, there'll be a financial reward. And that's just after the fact. I'm just going to do this anyway. There is significant lag. Play us a song that lags. Song that lags. That was lacking. These are just sounds that people make. Well, let's go to jail with Ezra Miller. Let's hang out with Ezra Miller. They say money can't buy you happiness, but it can pay for bond and bail. I noticed there are new. Holy crap. There's so many texts. All these text messages I've just received. Is that a Band-Aid? I can't tell. Listen, there are new ways to, there aren't new ways to do anything, really. Everything has been done before. Even this show. I think there should be more talking on the show with people. But I think 4 o'clock is a bad time because nobody is around to talk. Everybody's like, what, 4 o'clock? I'm at work. What, 4 o'clock? Dallas, T-Pain rips Dallas Fort Worth fans on TikTok. T-Pain, we all really care about what T-Pain has to say. Glad that this show is a cut-up. Breaking Bad is trending. Wow, I've got very low energy. I'm like low energy Steve here. Low energy Jeb. Well, I wish I had something I was angry about today, because then I would go off for another 10 minutes. Here's the thing. I'm pretty grateful to have tickets to go see the new Nicolas Cage movie. It's going to be an interesting movie because I think he's kind of in his own... Nicolas Cage is already about Nicolas Cage. He's already all about himself. So now he's going to go make a movie all about himself, starring himself, which should be fascinating. I find it interesting. The reason I have a show is because I've always done a show, whether or not people are listening or not. I would do this into a tape recorder as a kid and send the tapes to our friends, and we'd do this back and forth, and it was fun. And even on the road as a musician, I had a show, and we would do the show every week, no matter where we were in the country. You can see those episodes, a lot of those episodes on YouTube, on the Veda channel. Ancient shows. But, it's one of the things where you go, I did all of these things for situations I was in that involved other people, that involved other band members. And ultimately, those band members decided not to be in the band anymore. So you go, how do I create a band that has no other members that can leave? So clearly I have abandonment issues. What does this say? 4 o'clock. Eric Dreyer says 4 o'clock is a terrible time. Yeah, such a terrible time. It's like tea time, though. If you're in England, it's tea time. It's ready, you know. And the English, they say tea time, right? They say it's tea time. But they're really eating cake and sandwiches. They're trying to get away, trying to say, look, it's a low-calorie snack time. No, you guys are eating finger sandwiches and cupcakes. Just get off it. You got macaroons up in there? Look at you with your tea time. Sitting there trying to say, oh, we're just drinking tea. No, that's a whole meal. I've had tea. Sarah Halstead Art says, go off on Amazon being worth $1.5 trillion and upcharging sellers for inflation. Yeah, I could go off on that. I could also go off on Jeff Lazy Bezos. That dude, he doesn't pay his taxes. You know, he could just he could give us all about $50. Maybe more than that. $1 trillion? What are you going to do with $1 trillion? You can't ever spend $1 trillion. You just buy the earth. I was watching an interview with Joe Rogan. I'm Fro Rogan, but I was watching Joe Rogan talking to Kanye. Or Ye, depending on what era we're talking about. He's over there talking to Ye. Ye the bit cray. So he go like this to Kanye. Kanye just said, how much the earth cost? And Joe's like, I don't understand what you're saying to me. And Kanye keeps asking how much the earth cost. And I would say that the earth cost $1.5 trillion. And Jeff Bezos is fixing to buy it. The dude goes to space. You ever watch Jeff Bezos? You ever see that dude? That dude, he must have taken every class of us. He must have taken every Tony Robbins. The dude must have gone to Tony Robbins 10 times because he goes around like, ha ha ha, listen to my deep booming voice. I try to project. I'm much larger than I am. You know, he's like a small woodland creature that puffs up to look bigger so you don't eat it. Maybe he's got spikes on him. I don't know. I'm just saying Jeff Bezos. I'm just saying a Bezos is a small woodland creature. Inedible. Don't try to eat him. The dude, he is so over the top. Ha ha ha, I've got trillions of dollars. Ha! But it's so phony. You can see it's phony. It's a put on. He's trying to be a certain way, you know? And it's just, I don't buy it. You know what I mean? I don't buy it. Jeff Bezos buys it, though. You know, they say money can't buy you happiness. But for $1.5 trillion, you could buy the earth. And a little bit of the moon. You know the moon was born of the earth? The moon. Yeah, it's true. Let me turn this bass up. Let me turn that bass up. Let me bass boost this. Yeah. Sounds better, doesn't it? Let me know if it's distorting. I feel like I'm distorting. Not just the content, I mean the sound. Not distorting the truth. For $1.5 trillion, though, listen, if money can't buy you happiness, why don't you can't buy me a new computer. Hey, Jeff Bezos, you just follow that dude around and like $3 billion falls out his back pocket. That guy wouldn't even notice. There's a thing called the infinite money glitch. I'm working my way up to it. Right now, I've got about $27 invested. But I think that, here, dig this. This might be tough to follow. Basically, I'm not going to go into the numbers of it, but people, when they're so rich, they just make money for being rich. Like, they make more money than they can spend that money. They're making money off of their money so fast that they cannot spend it fast enough. And then, at the same time, poor people get poorer. And the middle class stay right in that lane. You can't really go up, but you can go down. There's a lot of texts I got to catch up on here, it looks like. What's going on? Not to dismiss the show. I think that I should be here present with the show. Eric Dreyer, that's a very familiar name. We got the same last name. Thank you. People play the blues on the ukulele. I would like to go off on rich people getting richer. But I don't know. Rich people getting richer. But there's bigger fish to fry, How come the rich people... Why doesn't Jeff Bezos just pay the Russian troops to leave, Seems like a peaceful solution. Hey, here, Russia, we're just going to pay you to leave Ukraine. Are you saying you didn't like the Better Call Saul premiere? I'm Uncle Ron. Don't spoil it. I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it, please. Before you get to it, don't get to it. I'm just talking... I was retrospecting Breaking Bad earlier, but then I was going off on how to buy the earth for only $1.5 trillion. I'm Uncle Ron. Welcome to the show. Here's your intro.
Here it is. My most likable song ever. Coca-Cola, lipstick ring, go dance all night, dance all night. Kiss me, just kiss me Nefertiti. Lipstick, kiss me, lipstick ring, oh, that's the way you like it.
This is your most likable song ever?
Yeah.
People will love it.
People do love it. I'm Uncle Ron. I have to catch up. You actually prefer Better Call Saul to Breaking Bad. I prefer Breaking Bad to Better Call Saul. However, Better Call Saul is quite good. I do like Bob Odenkirk. I do like the show. I think that, here's a funny story about Better Call Saul. I'm Uncle Ron. A little anecdote. And then I'll get to going off on how caterpillars fully turn into goo when in a chrysalis, and that doesn't make any sense. But let me just tell you something. One night, I was watching Better Call Saul at 10 p.m. on AMC, the time slot for Breaking Bad. I was sitting there watching the show, and there's Patrick Fabian is heavily featured in this episode. Patrick Fabian being, the head of the law firm in Better Call Saul. And I was just watching the show, and I'm just watching the show. That's not the interesting part. The interesting part is I had work the next morning. Now, as you know, I'm a set photographer, or I used to be. Most of the time, I don't really do set photography anymore because I don't get the calls. But I've worked on over 40 films as a set photographer, at least. That's just films. It's not even including TV shows and commercials and whatnot. Anyway, that's my resume in case you wanted to hire me as a set photographer or someone who just... I don't do kids' parties, okay? So I was watching Better Call Saul, and I had a 6 a.m. call time. And then I get to the set, 6 a.m., the sun's coming up, and I go meet my friend Lee. You guys have met Lee. I've talked to him on the show, Lee Boxleitner. He's a TikToker. He's also a sound guy. He's also a sound department of... the movies I would work on. And I just go over to him. And about not 5 or 6 hours before that, I was watching Patrick Fabian on TV. And I walk over to Lee, and he's miking Patrick Fabian. He's putting a microphone on this dude. And Patrick Fabian just looks over to me. He's like, yeah, you ever see the movie Snowpiercer? And I was like, yeah, I've seen the movie. And then we just started talking about Snowpiercer for like 10 minutes. And I was having a surreal moment because I had just been watching that dude before I went to bed, and I was half asleep when I went to set, and I had no idea that I'd be working with him. Because I didn't look at the call sheet, because whatever. Why am I going to look at the call sheet? It's the same old business. I just like to be surprised. But that was a weird, surreal moment for me. I went to bed watching this dude. I woke up, and he's standing right there talking to me about Snowpiercer. Speaking of goo, one of the things, the spoiler in Snowpiercer, by the way, if you hadn't seen it, plug your ears, plug your nose, plug your mouths, plug your eyes, plug your TV in and change the channel. I watched Snowpiercer. The big reveal of Snowpiercer is that the food that they're feeding the people on the train that can never stop because it'll freeze, the food that they're feeding them is just crushed up chitin or bug protein, insect protein. Soylent Green is people. No, this is Soylent Purple. This is Agent Orange. They were eating bugs, right? And you're supposed to be disgusted by that. But as soon as I saw that, I said, that seems like a really smart way to recycle protein. It seems like a really good... Am I the only one who's not disgusted by this and thinks that this is a very resourceful way of feeding a population is with insects? Okay, I'm weird. Great. I'm Uncle Ron said, so is it safe to say Patrick Fabian is a super nice guy? Yeah, he was nice. I didn't have any issues with him at all. And he really talks like that. He really says everything as if he was talking like that. It was as if his character was there because that's his affect. His affect is talking like that. So, nice to see you. Blah, blah, blah. It's interesting. He played like a baseball coach, a kid's baseball coach in the movie that we were shooting. I forget what it was called. I think it was called Hearts of the Baseball. Diamonds Are Forever. Baseball Diamonds Are Forever. It's a Hallmark movie, so it's a romantic comedy. So you got to figure out how to like make a romantic comedy out of whatever subject, a romantic comedy title. It's baseball, damn it. Whatever. I feel like every single Hallmark movie, and this is no diss against people Hallmark movies, because thank you for your business, because I got hired for many, many dozens of them to work, and I like the work. It's good. I liked it. It's like a family over there. But I'm just saying that every single movie was like the same movie. You just had to like mix and match the professions. It'd be like, he's a photographer, and his wife just died, and he's raising a kid alone, and then he meets a journalist, and then they hit it off. And then the next movie is like, she owns a pizza place, and he's a gardener, and they get together, and they This next movie is like, he's a lawyer, and she's a judge, and they just can't... Just you name it. It's just like, you just pull the subjects out of a hat, one after another. You name it. Just name a profession. But it was funny because we'd all shoot every single thing in the same place. So it was just recycled stuff. You guys, if you watch any Hallmark movie from that era, from the last 10 years, and you see like a staircase, that was stage 3. Stage 3 had a staircase. Had a set and a staircase. And that set had been reworked a billion times. So if you've ever seen a staircase in a Hallmark movie, it's the same one. FYI. Patrick Fabian is super nice. I mean, we went on about Snowpiercer. He said it was one of the great movies that didn't get any really attention. And he said it was low budget and great. And it's all about the story. I like that movie because it's got Tilda Swinton. She's great. I like Tilda Swinton. I think she's one of the prime humans. I think she's like a top human. If you were to categorize humans in enchilons, she's top enchilon. She's a top enchilada. Hey, I'm Uncle Ron. I'm going to go see that new Nick Cage movie tonight. I got free tickets. They sent me an email. They said, hey, you want to go see the new Nick Cage movie? I said, is it free? And they said, yeah. And I said, sign me up. And now I've got tickets. I'm going to go see them, and I'm going to eat popcorn for dinner and Diet Coke. I'm Uncle Ron. Don't tell nobody. Maybe Diet Mr. Pibb. Diet Mr. Pibb. Oh, I'm excited now. Uncle Ron, do you got Mr. Pibb in Wisconsin's? Massive Talent, yes. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, or whatever it's called. Yes, I'm going to see that movie tonight. It's got Nicolas Cage, starring Nicolas Cage, with Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage in a movie about Nicolas Cage, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. We have Mr. Pibb. It is confirmed. It is confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. In Wisconsin, there is Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb does not want to cross the Mason-Dixon line, apparently. I don't know. Why does not... It's not even east of the Mississippi, I guess. Mr. Pibb can't cross the waters. Is it true that Mr. Pibb's is just prune juice made into soda? Now I'm on a roll. Look at me. I'm like a bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm on a roll. I'm trying to plug this in. There we go. Got to charge my phone. What else? What else do you got? I'm Uncle Ron says, does anyone want to cross the Mason-Dixon line? Nah. I tried it once. It wasn't that great. I tried Mr. Pibb twice. 4 times the charm. I like Mr. Pibb. This is what I got last time. I got Mr. Pibb with a shot of vanilla. Actually, last time I got Mr. Pibb, I was on a date. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was on a date. And and I said to myself, I don't like this person anymore. It was true. It was sad, but it was true. You got to figure out how you want to spend your time and who you want to spend your time with. That is the most important thing in life. It really is. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. If you spend your time fighting, I don't know, maybe you like to fight. Some people like drama. They enjoy it. Not me. I like peace. Peace, peace, y'all. Can I do an impression of Dr. Pepper? Asks Sarah Hofstead. Yes, I can do an impression of Dr. Pepper. This is a stethoscope. This pasta needs something extra. I've got just the prescription. More crushed pepper! I can do an impression of Dr. Dre. If I was a doctor, I would be Dr. Dre. But if I would go by Dr. Dre. And if someone was like, hey, Dr. Dre, I'd be like, sup? And they say, I'm sick. Is it bad? I'd say, yeah. And they say, am I gonna die? I'd go, hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Am I gonna diet, Dr. Pepper? Never say diet. That should be my workout plan. You know that Chris Hemsworth has a workout plan called Center Fit, right? The dude makes money working out because he's like, I'm an actor. I need to work out all of the time. So I might as well get paid even more. Thory. I can't pronounce I could pronounce it. I could pronounce it. I would like to pronounce it. I'd like to pronounce it dead. There's a joke in there somewhere. He was pronounced dead. No, he was pronounced Kevin. The internal machinations of the stupid brain. Thank you. I like to share it with you every day, 4 p.m., which is a terrible time, we were learning. 4 p.m. is a terrible time, but you can listen to this as a podcast if you want. Normally, I would like it if people were to talk, but I do this show regardless. It's my ethic. My ethic is, if you can't join them, beat them. That's my ethic. Also, Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb did not go to medical school, apparently. Dr. Pepper did. I mean, my name is Salt Shaker Esquire. I think we're done here. I think we did a good job today. My impression of Dr. Pepper, really. I would like to do sound effects, but my computer doesn't like to do them anymore. Let's see. I'm going to do an impression of... You know, they say money can't buy you happiness. But you know what? Happiness, now remember this, happiness always ends with penis. I would like to say goodnight. Thank you. Now it's time to say goodbye. But you don't have to take my word for it. But thank you for watching. How am I doing? How's my driving? That's what I want to do with Vladimir Putin.
Son of a... You done messed up! Get out of my goddamn room before I break my foot off in you! Insubordinate and churlish. I said good day!
Thank you. I bet to do
I
this.
said good day!
I mean this.
Good day, sir! I said good day! You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Aristotle Full Throttle Show. We did it again. You know, some people say dumber things to me for an hour a day, and they have more followers. So why don't we beat them, okay? If you can't join them, beat them. Listen, go tell all your friends about this. Subscribe on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video. If you're doing all these things, I appreciate it. You can listen to this as a podcast if you want. You could listen to a guy being grumpy. Guy being grumpy for an hour. I'm a little grumpy today. I'm a little grumpy, maybe because, I don't know why. There's no reason to be grumpy. You might not believe this, but it's sunny and clear here in Los Angeles. So there's really no reason to be grumpy, actually. I'm pretty grateful. I can't think of a reason why I'm angry. It's just because I'm hungry. I think I'm hungry. I need some Diet Dr. Pibb. You know, I would... Let's fund the medical school training for Mr. Pibb. Anybody want to hear a story? I got a story before I go. What kind of story do you want to hear? Is there any type of story that you'd like to hear? I do have a story about those chrysalises. I do have a story that I have about 47 Chris's in my phone. That's my chrysalist. I do It is weird that caterpillars will turn into goo and then come out as a butterfly. That's weird. Sometimes I feel like I turn into goo. Like last Sunday, I just was a goo ball, a goober. I was just eating Cadbury eggs and laying in bed. It was wonderful. It was glorious. Sarah Hofstedt Art says, crowdfund Mr. Pibb's PhD. I agree. We got to crowdfund. Mr. Pibb going around without their medical degree, Dr. Pepper showing off. They taste the same. What makes Dr. Pepper so special with his advanced degree? Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb is trying to prove that you don't need a degree. I think about that a lot. I think about how valuable education is, but also how expensive it is. They say that money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you a fake doctorate for like $200, maybe less. You know, just go to Kinko's. People do that. They just print out a doctorate at Kinko's for $50. That's way cheaper than going to school for 4 years or 8. I would like to do. Look at all my degrees. I should have just advanced degrees all on my wall. Here's the story. I went to the Scientology Museum on Hollywood Boulevard, and I took a tour. It was funny. I wish I brought a camera with me because I was trolling the F out of them. I was trolling them the whole time. The Scientologists, that is. First of all, they take you in. They say, hey, have you ever heard of L. Ron Hubbard? And I said, you know, L. Ron Hubbard is the founder of Scientology. He's like that really gross guy with bad teeth. He's the gross guy with bad teeth. He used to be a science fiction writer. He started a religion because you know what? He used to say to like Isaac Asimov and all his Ray Bradbury, all his science fiction buddies, he used to say to them, hold on. He used to say, if you want to be rich, write a book. If you want to be immortal, start a religion. He used to say that openly to these people. And now, Scientology is a religion that people actually follow for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. So they took us in to the side. They took us into the side room. And we did this, me and my girlfriend at the time, Lori, we did this just to amuse each other. So we tried to one-up each other the whole time. And just to the unwitting tour guide, she took us into this room and she's like, well, L. Ron Hubbard, if you guys haven't heard of him, this is a picture of him. There's this giant portrait of him on the wall. And I said, oh, yeah, I know that guy. That's Tom Cruise's dad. And then they said, oh, no, he's not Tom Cruise's dad. He's a very great man. He's a very great man. He's a military. He was in the military. He was in the Navy. He wrote a lot of books. And I'm like, oh, if he was so great, how come I ain't heard of him then? And so this went on for like 40 minutes. We'd go from room to room, and then they slowly induct you into like deeper levels of what you're to expect. And there was like this weird stuff. You could tell it's all weirdly veiled alien stuff, because if you know anything about Scientology, if you know anything about Scientology, you know that it's got aliens involved in their lore and all this stuff. And you go from room to room, and they're like, L. Ron Hubbard also created the cure for cancer. L. Ron Hubbard also wrote these books about science fiction. And then there's like these the big statues of aliens and stuff. They're really trying to get you to buy Battlefield Earth, which, by the way, I bought a book. I bought Battlefield Earth when I left for like $6.99. So they take you from room to room, and then they take you to do the E-meter. The E-meter is you hold these two things. They call them cans. They're just like metal cans. And they read your reaction to questions they ask you. So they were like, see, the E-meter can tell you what your emotions are. And that's how we decide how to treat you, I guess, in Scientology. So the E-meter, you're holding the two cans, and the meter's going back and forth, and the woman who was their tour guide said, hey, now just think of something, like a happy thought. And I literally was like, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. I was just thinking like ice cream. Listen, if you don't get happy when you think about ice cream, that's not my issue. That's something you should deal with. But I kept thinking ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. And then the meter, she's like, look, see, the meter moved this way. And then she goes, now think of something negative. And I said, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream in my head. And she's like, see, look, it moved. And I was like, okay. And then Lori took the cans, and then they said, okay, now think of something. She's like, see, it moved. And Lori's like, oh, I didn't think of anything yet. I wasn't thinking. And then they said, well, this is how we read the emotions of things and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, what about dogs too? Can dogs do this? And they were like, well, no, dogs can't do this. And she's like, well, dogs have a soul. Why can't dogs do that? And they were like, can we just move on? Lori's a veterinarian. It was very funny. I was laughing. And also there was another thing she said, which was really hilarious, which was the woman said, hey, you know how like if you lose a finger or if you lose a toe, you're still you. And that's basically, so there's like a soul, there's an essence of a soul, and every one of us that never changes. And that's, if you just keep cutting parts of your body off, you still remain the same person, which is dark. But Lori was like, no, not in like many Chinese cultures. There's the idea that if you lose a part of yourself, like a kidney or something, then part of your soul is gone too. She's corrected the lady. And the lady was like, let's move on to this new room. And then finally we went to this room, and it was this giant wall of all of these fake degrees. I don't know if maybe they were real. There were all these placards and stuff like that. And now it's not only just a wall with like 100 plaques on it. The wall opens up, and another wall comes out with all new like degrees and plaques. And I was reading them. We were like going up to them and reading them, and it was like South Houston High School awards L. Ron Hubbard for a donation of $500. There was really nothing. These weren't actual accomplishments. They were just things to try to overwhelm you, to be like, oh, this guy must be really cool and special. And then finally that wall opens up, and this gigantic portrait of L. Ron Hubbard comes out. It was freaky. It was weird. And I was like, he must have been, I don't know. He was not a very good human. He was a very terrible human. He took advantage of other humans. And he's dead now, which is good. It's good for all of us. Thank you for watching. This has been the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. I need to go eat some popcorn and Mr. Pibbs. Diet Dr. Mr. Pibb. Diet Dr. Mr. Pibb. If you were watching today's show and it was entertaining, please like it. Please. They say money can't buy you happiness, but it can get you a subscription to Aristotle Full Throttle on Twitch.
That is so fetch.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you for watching. It's been a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful day. You're beautiful. You're talented. The way that your hair is, it's shining in the sunlight. And if you don't have hair, look at your bald head is beautiful, Jada Pinkett. That's all we're trying to say. We're just trying to say that Jada Pinkett is glistening in the sun with her bald head. No one said anything bad about her hair. They just said, Jada, I love you. Can't wait for G.I. Jane 2. I can't believe people got upset about that, but, we're over it.
Who is this imbecile?
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Flawless victory.
I have a certificate.
Okay,